Are you winning? Are you winning this healthy aging game? I mean, isn't it a game? It's a game to see how long we can last. And just when we're about to make an effort towards improving our health, we discover it's a challenge. It's hard work. And apparently nobody wants to put the work in. And then, just as we're about to make that effort, a new disease has crept in to all of us. Everybody has it, but there is a cure. It's called procrastinitis. Everybody has this procrastination. And then on top of that, we have this little voice inside of our head that says, tomorrow. And what happens? What happens? Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow never comes. I have a thought for you. If I asked you how old your parents are today, think of that thought, or how old your parents were when they passed away, or better yet, how old you think you'll be when you complete your life. Typically, the age is male, female, mid-80s. So let's take 85. And I say to you, sir, you're 85 years of age. You've been living this vibrant, healthy, living lifestyle. You're in the best shape of your life. Why would you die? Pick 10 more years. Now, sir, you're 95 years of age. You're still healthy and you're fit and you've been living this amazing lifestyle. Why would you die? Pick another 10 years. All right. Okay, now you're 105. Congratulations, sir. You're a centurion. You made it. The point I'm trying to make here, it's a mindset shift. You've had an amazing life over the last 25 years, and aren't the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s supposed to be the best years of our life? The best years of our life. I have a secret to this aging game. I've been playing it for 50 plus years. But the secret to this aging game, it's winnable. It's winnable for you and you and you and all of us. It's a winnable game. Imagine, if you will, go back 50 years if you can. There's some in here that weren't born at that point, but go back 50 years if you will, and just imagine. It's a Saturday morning. I've just gotten up at the crack of noon. I had my first Export A cigarette in my right hand, my Ryan Coke in the other hand, and I am just enjoying the Saturday morning. And then my younger brother of wisdom comes out, 19 years old, and he's got all this wisdom. Says, look at you. I said, yeah, isn't it great? You're pathetic. You're pathetic. What do you mean? And he delivered these words to me, and he says, you know, you can be just like Dad. Ladies and gentlemen, my father passed away of a massive heart attack at the age of 50, leaving 4 boys and my mom had to raise 4 boys in the 60s and 70s. So I said to my brother, Kim, what do you suggest? He said, well, there's a new sport out there. It's a multi-level sport. It's called triathlons. I said, what's a triathlon? Well, you swim and you bike and you run. I said, I don't swim. You can learn. I don't have a bike. There's a bike store down there. You can buy a bike. Well, I haven't run in a long time. You can pick that up again. I was making all these excuses for not engaging. And had my brother not suggested that, then it may have been left aside and me not engaging into something that would help me through all the struggles that I've had for the past 50, 60 years. At last count, over 100 triathlons, 5 Ironman events. If you know what an Ironman is, it's a 4K swim, 180K bike, and then you run a marathon, and that's on the same day. and then 25 marathons. And I'm not trying to tell you this to impress you, but it's pretty impressive. Wouldn't you agree? Like, that's a lot. Thank you. The point I'm trying to make is that everybody has a purpose, or the light bulb is up there, and all of a sudden it comes on. And you're in this moment said, I should do that. And you've all been at that place where it's the impetus for really getting out there and finding something that you can engage in to make your life that much better through vibrant, healthy living. If that story is not enough, listen to this. Listen to this statistic. In 2040, in 17 years, I'll be 88. You can do your quick math. I'll be 88, and there'll be 12 million senior citizens in Canada. The quick math on that, it says there'll be 1 million here in British Columbia. Can you imagine 1 million senior citizens driving around at night in British Columbia? The interesting part of that statistic is this. Those 12 million senior citizens will consume 3/4 of our annual healthcare budget. Did you hear what I said? They'll consume 3/4 of the annual healthcare budget. If you're in your 30s, if you're in your 40s, if you're in your 50s, you need a plan B. You need a plan B. Don't be dependent on the healthcare system, because it just may not be there. I've been on my prescription, my non-drug prescription, for over 50 years now. And at the end of this talk, I'll give you that prescription, a non-drug prescription. 25 years ago, I had to go through a real struggle for our family, and it was only because of the sport I'd picked up that allowed me to get through this. I was coming back from the Boston Marathon, and it was the 100th run in the Boston Marathon. I was so excited to share that news with my son, Michael. But instead of sharing the news of my 3 hours and 12 minutes, I was met with the news of childhood cancer. And down to Children's Hospital to figure out what we're going to do. And we went through the protocol of chemotherapy and steroids and radiation. And we're all set, 1 year's gone by. And we're all set to get Michael back to school. 13-year-old's actually excited about going to school. And he said, Dad, rather than going to school, I've got these excruciating lower back pains in my back, and I think we should get that checked out. And I kind of had the sense of what was going on, but I didn't want to admit that. Back down to Children's Hospital, and what the oncologists told us after the tests were done, that the cancer was back. And if you've ever been in that position as a parent or maybe a grandparent, you know that there's something that imminent that might happen. And 2 weeks later, the oncologist came to us and said, all we can do now is manage the pain. Your son will complete his life. And 2 weeks later, after Michael checked into Canuck Place, it's a hospice here in Vancouver, Michael was gone. 2 days before Michael passed away, he said to me, Dad, are you going to be okay? Are you going to be okay? He's riddled with cancer. It's because I know I'm going to be okay. He gave me permission for him to die. An incredible gift. As I was reflecting on Michael passing away, I said, well, what's my purpose? Really, what's my purpose here? Why do I need to be here? Wouldn't it be better for me just to take my life? And I thought about that for about 10 seconds. Said, how self-serving of me. Michael has two sisters, ages 5 and 16. They need my courage and my strength and my passion, my purpose, my leadership. They needed me. So at that point, it was only because of my newfound prescription, which was years and years and years ago, that allowed me this mechanism to escape and to go through what I needed to do. Most recently this year, I was having trouble even walking up 3 flights of stairs. So I ended up going to my cardiologist and said, "What's going on?" And he said, "Well, you need to do these tests." And they did these tests, and to find out that my heart rate had fallen to a low of 20 to 21 at night with gaps of 5 seconds. That was really scary. He said, "We're going to do this operation. It's called an ablation." And simply said, it's a reset of the heart. So rather than 20 or 20, it'll be like back up into 40 and 50. We had that operation done on June the 15th. And by June the 22nd, I was back on my road bike. How amazing. How amazing. Had I not been in the shape that I was in, I may not have been able to recover within a week. Never mind, get back on my bike. I promised you a prescription. But here's kind of like a foundational line that if you're going to take away one thing tonight, take away this line. Healthy aging is for the preparation of aging. Healthy aging is for the preparation of aging to help you through all the stuff. And here's how I describe it. Life is perfectly imperfect, but that's the perfection of it, perfect. We can't change it. But how do you get through that stuff? Here's a prescription. You can write it down if you like. I call it my 4 C's. You may not like the first C. It's called commitment. We have to, if we want to shift, if we want to change habits, we need to commit to something internally. If you commit to something, whatever that is, a walk around a 1-mile block, then all of a sudden, if you do that and you stay committed to that, you're going to find yourself changing into this supercharged, super energized person, this ever-ready bunny. On top of commitment, you need courage. Courage goes with commitment because on that dark morning where the bed is warm, it's pounding rain outside, how motivated really are you to get out and do it? Commitment and courage. The third C is capabilities. You just may need to buy a new pair of running shoes. You just may need to go to the bike shop. Maybe it's yoga, maybe it's Pilates. I'm not sure what it is, but you're going to need to learn new capabilities. And then if you make it through commitment and courage and new capabilities, and you have this person here, you're going to move this person over there. And this person over here, this new person over here has a complete new level of confidence. You've left the old behind. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'd like you to kind of think about is a shift. It's a paradigm shift. It's a paradigm shift. All the wealth that we've made over the last number of years will mean absolutely very, very little unless you have your health. Your health today is your wealth. Thank you.